It was about a week ago when I first saw it. I was looking up anime GIFs and I saw this one from Black Butler of Eloise. So without further thought, I clicked and looked at it. I began to look at it and wonder why it wasn't moving. Maybe my internet crashed or something. Just at that moment, I noticed the photo flicker. I did a small chuckle and proceeded to click out of the window. Oddly enough, it stayed there, no matter how many times I clicked. I zoomed it up to my computer, being on the first as usual, so I yawned and resumed my work, glancing outside at the night sky here and there, hoping my parents would come home soon. The clock had read 3 o'clock in the morning when I turned one last time toward the window. My attention was caught by the form of a small boy walking towards the window. I stayed glued in my seat as his features became visible. That moment, there he was, Alois Trancy. I smiled to myself, thinking this was one of those crazy dreams I had. The boy just stared at me, his eyes shining that cold, icy blue color. Little did I know, this wasn't going to end like a cheesy fan fiction or one-shot. Just at that moment, someone behind me grabbed me, blocking my mouth with their hand. My eyes widened as I tried to struggle with my attacker. Shh. This will be all over soon. This will be all over soon. Was all I heard before I lost enough oxygen to lose consciousness. When I awoke, I was tied to my computer chair, blood dripping down my face. I managed to turn towards a mirror in the hallway and looked on in fright. My right eye was gone. I could see where it had been ripped out, small veins dangling from the hole like crimson-colored vines. I gasped and cried out. Sadly, to my dismay, only a masculine voice answered. Do you like it? I stared in the mirror and saw none other than Claude Foster, his golden eyes staring at me, a large Cheshire cat-like grin plastered on his face. My eye dropped in fear. What the hell? I thought to myself. Alois walked out from behind Claude with the same maniacal, sadistic smile at me. Still makes my blood run cold. Just remembering it. I watched as Alois stuck his fingers in where my eye used to be, me screaming in pain, my nerves tingling at his touch. Alois snarled and growled. I think something else needs to be taken. This little girl is annoying me. Claude nodded and proceeded to circle around my body like a shark to a prey. If you were a real man, you'd fight me, I whispered through tears. Claude just smirked and whispered, I don't think so, and began to carve into my arm. I blinked away tears as he carved a skinny, blood-red spider into my arm. My nostrils flared at the sound of the metallic crimson liquid as it drooped down my arm and onto the floor. However, that murderous grin remained on his face as he stepped away, revealing his masterpiece. Alois then snatched the knife and began to slice into my leg. I had managed to kick him in the face and began to kick back into my chair, which was against a wall in the hallway. Alois had ran at me with the knife, a large bruise covering his left eye. He leaped up and plunged the butcher knife into my stomach. I gurgled out blood as he got up. The wrist-hued substance stained my cheeks a faded red. Strangely enough, Claude began to untie me. Finally, I might live after all, I thought to myself as I stood up. Claude suddenly shot a look at my face and my legs and grabbed my left. He held my petite body upside down as the tall man carried me outside and onto the balcony. Alois laughed as Claude dangled my bloody and broken body over the railing. Bye-bye, girl, were the last words I heard before Alois dropped onto the pavement below. That image from earlier flashed in my now damaged mind as my school collided with the sidewalk. I woke today in the hospital, cords and machinery blinding my view of the room. Lucky enough for me, apparently somebody witnessed them dropping me off of the balcony. I smiled weakly and thanked the civilian's family who had come on his behalf. According to them, he was killed by 3 identical triplets, all with purple hair and crimson eyes. Then my neighbor's wife had handed me a bag that someone left at their doorstep, which was full of small plush toys. I grinned and took one of the plushies out. I stared face to face with an Alois Trancy plushie. I kept taking out plushies in curiosity until I sat, staring at plushies of Alois, Claude, Hannah, and the triplets. Then, with my one good eye, I read the card that was in the bag. We're not done with you yet, child.